Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. We are out here in the heart of nature, baby. We got that beautiful bird up there singing. Deep divers of planet Earth, 10 things that will make you fear less besides your running. Okay, let's just, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. I got a question that came in. Ralph, how can we fear less? Now, I get over 2,000 messages every single day. A lot of people ask me, what's the best place to send me something so I can see it and answer the question? Instagram at Infinite Waters. Don't email me. I get over 2,000 messages. Okay, now fear is everywhere. Everywhere you turn, it seems like there is something to be afraid of. But alas, deep divers, we no longer have to spend our entire lives fearful. And we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello? Okay, let me share with you what's helped me along my journey, what I teach my clients, what I use to inspire millions of people. Fear. False evidence appearing real. Now, how did I learn how to fear less? Well, we got a whole lot to talk about. Okay, I'm going to share with you 10 simple steps. If you are someone who deals with a lot of anxiety, fear, panic attacks, don't worry. I can relate. I also used to deal with the same things. And what I learned, the first thing that will make you fear less besides your running, because let's face it, a lot of us, we are running. Fight or flight, okay? Fear has a lot to do with our reptilian brainstem. But when we talk of the neocortex, the new part of the brain, we have a choice, and we don't have to let fear govern our lives. So the first thing is this. I want you to see fear as an alarm clock. This is the psychology of fear. Now, ever been in bed and the alarm clock goes off? Wait a minute, the smoke alarm, let's say the alarm clock. What happens? You're like, oh my gosh, the alarm clock. The alarm clock is going off right now, and I haven't even got out of bed, but it's making me get out of bed. Now, sometimes if an alarm goes off, it's because you need to wake up. It's a good thing. But a lot of our fears are what I call false alarms. A lot of our fears are what I call false alarms, meaning there is no danger. We are not in a fight or flight situation. What's happened is that we are in a mindset which is making us fearful. So what I've learned along my journey is to ignore. I want you to ignore the false alarms. It's a false alarm, okay? It's just a drill. So I started to realize this along my journey. Okay, if a hyena is coming towards you, you better run, okay? But if you're just by yourself and you're feeling very fearful, you don't have to run. You have a choice. And when we talk of becoming your greatest version, you've got to realize that fear will play tricks on your mind. As a psychologist, as a criminologist, as someone who inspires millions, I will tell you this, and a counselor, that fear is a false alarm. It doesn't mean that how your body interprets fear is not real. In fact, it is real to the body. We'll come to that later. But see fear as a false alarm. You are not in immediate danger. You don't have to run anymore, okay? What's the second thing that'll make you fear less besides your running? Wait a minute, you're running pretty fast. Okay, you're slowing down because, you're running out of breath right now. Now, what's helped me along my journey is to realize this. You got to learn how to change your perception when it comes to fear. You see, how I fear less every single day. Sometimes we're afraid about the future. We're afraid about how we're going to make money. We're afraid in a relationship. We're afraid about the foods we're eating. How to fear less is this. Fear changes when you change your perception. Slow motion this side. Now, I'm going to give you a classic example. You see, many people focus on everything that is going to go wrong. I choose to focus on everything that is going to go right. I always have a belief that the whole universe is working in my favor, and that's what happens. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. A lot of people are afraid of other people. You might be an introvert, you might be afraid of talking to people, and that's okay. Okay, fear is not necessarily a bad thing, and sometimes it's good to have certain fears to prevent you from doing something really silly, okay? But what happens when fear now governs our lives? We now become a prisoner to fear. Well, I'm here to tell you, you got to learn how to change your perception. Right now, I have very few fears, okay? Apart from the existential crisis, right? I have very few fears. So that means I'm in a healthier state. Because fear is connected to the reptilian brainstem, that means fear is always a lower vibration, meaning it is associated with disease and ill health. So if you want to become more healthy, you got to learn how to change your perception when it comes to fear. I do this by changing my focus. I say, okay, Ralph, this was years ago. I was like, everything in my life is going to go terribly wrong. I'm scared right now, looking a bit shaky, baby. Then the cat down the road came to my rescue and said, Ralph, I said, what? It said, just focus on everything that could go right. And guess what? Before you knew it, I started to fear less. What is the third thing that'll make you fear less besides your running? Now, what's helped me along my journey is this. You see, 80 to 90% of what you fear and what you worry about, I'm so sorry to break it to you, will never, ever, 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 ever come true. It's just not going to happen. Okay? So a lot of the times we are fearful because we are living upstairs. We are into analyzing everything. We have become overthinkers, ruminators, and therefore it is stealing your happiness. Now, if you want to learn how to become fearless, you have to realize 80 to 90% of everything you fear and worry about probably won't come true. You see, a lot of our fears are either in the past or they are in the future. Fear never exists in the present moment. Slow motion this side. Lose your mind and come to your senses. Meditation is a great way to become fearless. I'm meditating every single day. Once again, 80 to 90% of what you fear will never happen. So you gotta, once again, going back to the perception, change your perception of fear. Realize that a lot of our fears come from blowing things out of proportion or beginning to see our life with a magnifying glass, taking things out of context. So you need a wider perspective to fear less. You need a wider perspective to fear less. Now, what is the fourth thing, how to fear less besides your running? Now, what's helped me along my journey is this. You see, the beautiful thing about fear, which is false evidence appearing real, is that, yes, it can serve a purpose, fight or flight, but you see, we're not running away from dinosaurs anymore. So, where are all our fears coming from? From a mindset, from a belief system. Now, the beautiful thing about fear is that it highlights our shadow side. I've done a lot of shadow work. Okay, people are like, Ralph, are you going to do more events? We did the event in Costa Mesa. We'll do another Infinite Waters event. We'll do another retreat. Okay, there are a lot of deep divers and we have to do it, right? But what's helped me along my journey is this. Fear highlights your shadow sides. You see, everything you fear is showing you more about yourself. It is showing you your triggers, right? Everything you need to learn about yourself, okay, Fear is showing you that. So when you are fearful, don't be resistance. Don't be in resistance to fear. When you are fearful, don't be in resistance to fear. Okay? Surrender to fear. Respect fear. Use fear as your ally. In other words, see fear as your best friend, helping you to learn more about your shadow side. Now, shadow work is probably the most powerful work you will ever do when it comes to becoming your greatest version, right? So find a shadow practitioner. Infinite Waters, yes. Other people are doing great shadow work. That's what you really need to learn. You need to learn shadow work to fear less. So a brief example of shadow work when it comes to becoming your greatest version, to fear less, you need to realize this, that when, let's just say I'm afraid right now for no reason whatsoever, probably because it's a childhood trauma program coming from the subconscious mind, right? Something happened to me at 6 years old. Cat down the road disappeared. Maybe I'm afraid of spiders. Who knows, right? Okay. Now, I'm afraid right now, and I feel very uncomfortable. I want to get rid of fear. No, what I've got to learn how to do is sit with fear. You got to learn how to sit with your shadow. Okay? And that's how to fear less. Now I'm not in resistance to fear. I'm surrendering to fear. Okay? I'm embracing the disowned aspects of myself. In other words, the shadow is now becoming part of my greater self. Okay? So you got to learn how to embrace the shadow to fear less. What is the fifth thing that will make you fear less? Baby, besides your running. Gosh, your shoes are getting worn out right now. 7-day vegan challenge. What helped me? Stop eating tortured animals. Stop eating tortured, butchered animals. Over 64 billion animals are killed every single week. Every single year, right? Over 64 billion animals are killed every single year. Now, energy can never be destroyed. It can only be transferred. Meaning, if you are eating corpses, their energy is going to be transferred to you. Now, you have to realize the state they were in before they passed away is going to be the state you are in. Now, I know this because I used to love cheeseburgers, hot dogs, and all of that stuff over 13 years ago. Then I stopped eating meat. Then I noticed how I started to fear less. So fear disappears when you stop eating animals who wanted to live, okay? And you start embracing a healthier plant-based diet. Get your magnesium up. From the kale, from the watercress, the leafy greens will give you the magnesium you need to help your nerves calm down, right? They will calm your nerves down. Now, what is the sixth way? How to fear less besides your running? Running. There's a dog running over there, okay? Now, what helped me along my journey was this. You got to learn how to visualize your fears. Now, once again, fear is false evidence appearing real. Many times people write to me saying, Ralph, I'm afraid of a person. Ralph, I'm afraid of a situation. Ralph, I'm afraid of a certain event. Now, what I'm here to tell you is this. If you are afraid of something in your life, you see, the body can't tell the difference between a small fear, tiny, and a big fear. All fear is the same within the body. Okay. Now, what's helped me along my journey is to realize this. You have to start visualizing your fear. I want you to close your eyes right now. And I want you to start visualizing someone you're afraid of, maybe a future event you're afraid of, maybe a past situation you're afraid of. Okay, visualize it right now. Let's go deep divers. Okay, so we're visualizing this fear currently. Now, what is going to happen? You're going to feel incredibly fearful and uncomfortable. Do you? Okay, you do. Okay, stay in the chair. Don't get up yet. Okay, you're trying to escape from the chair. So visualize that fear. Now, as you're visualizing it, heart rate increases, feeling panicky, more anxious, maybe even starting to sweat. Okay, so now you're very fearful. That's what we want, because we have to go into fear. We have to go into the shadow side. Okay, so that is one great way. You're like, Ralph, don't leave me there. Don't worry. Just learn how to visualize what you are afraid of most often mentally first, okay? Live it out in your mind. The seventh thing that will make you fear less besides your running. As you're visualizing that fear, you want to learn how to become calmer within your body. Okay, so you're visualizing a terrifying experience that happened to you when you were 6 years old, 5 years old, maybe even 1 year old, okay? You need to learn to realize that fear is not something abstract. Fear lives in every single cell within your body. Slow motion this side. So when you were visualizing that fearful experience, what was happening to you? I guarantee you that you're probably like this, right? Fists all clenched, okay, jaw all tight, shoulders all hunched, okay? This is fear. This is fear. Right here. This is fear. Fear lies within your body language. So you have to realize this, that if you want to learn how to fear less, you have to move more into your body, become calmer through meditation, mindfulness meditation, where you can really absorb yourself into the present moment, relax those muscles, straighten that back, start to breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Learn how to breathe from the base of your spine. Once again, now there is a greater communion between you and the reptilian brain. You need to learn how to hack the reptilian brainstem to fear less, okay? And that happens when you learn how to breathe properly, but more so when you learn how to relax your body totally, okay? The eighth way how to fear less besides your running. Now, fear stands for two things. The acronym, forget everything and run. Well, you're already running right now. But besides running, you can face everything and rise. Slow motion this side. And that's what I'm doing every single day. You see, fear begins to fade away when you practice. What am I talking about? Let's just say I've never made a video in my entire life. Like, go and watch my first video. I didn't know what to do. I was very afraid, okay? Because I didn't practice. I wasn't used to confronting that fear. Therefore, it was an alien experience. I was terrified. I was having an anxiety attack, and it was uncomfortable. So, deep divers of planet Earth, what did I do? I had to confront my fear and say, actually, I'm going to make my first ever video. Okay? And I was scared, but I still did it. So I learned the secret of facing everything and rise, right? Don't run away from fear. Realize that fear is no longer a problem when you can look it in the eyes. Whatever you are afraid of, have the courage to look it in the eyes. Have the faith that you will overcome the experience. More so, have the determination that this fear will no longer hold you down. Okay? Many times we are prisoners to what we fear, therefore so many of us live miserable lives. I said actually no more. So what did I do? I realized the power of confronting my fears. I've been making so many videos and sharing with the world, doing so many consultations that I'm fearless, right? I'm fearless when it comes to expressing myself. But at the same time, I can always practice more, right? Because there are still levels, right? But I've overcome a lot of fear, and therefore I'm happier, I'm wealthier, I'm healthier, and I get to connect with amazing people every single day. That's the power of overcoming your fear. So whatever you are afraid of, don't run, face your fear, and you will become happier, right? What is the ninth thing that will make you feel less besides your running? Okay, my gosh, you're barefoot right now. I told you better stop running, right? Now, what helped me along my journey was to realize that your fear is not separate. Now, what do I mean by this? There's something called Gestalt counseling. Gestalt means the whole, okay? We're looking at it our lives in a very separate way. We think our fear is here and then the rest of our life is here. Okay? When I realized this, that it's all interconnected. You see, once you change one area of your life, all other areas change. Now, what am I talking of? Let's just say I'm afraid, okay? I'm afraid of bad things happening. Now, this is an isolated incident. I'm afraid of bad things happening. Now, if I go into the psychology of it, I look at the other areas of my life, right? I look at the other areas of my life, then I realize that I don't go out of the house, okay? I'm afraid of opportunities. I stay in my bedroom the whole day. So you realize this correlation between this fear and the rest of my life. So to fear less, what helped me along my journey was to realize that fear is not separate. It's all connected. If I change one area of my life, all other areas change. In other words, I can just go for a walk every single day, which I do, go into nature, woo, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. It's very healthy. I got a studio which costs thousands, okay? Thousands just for the lights alone, just for the beautiful atmosphere, okay? But I choose to be in nature because it helps me fear less, right? And this studio is priceless. It's not even a studio, right? This is nature studio, right? You can't buy this, okay? So what I've learned with the birds singing, that fear is not separate. I'm telling you today, if you are someone who fears a lot, don't beat yourself up for it. You got to realize this, that you can change that fear if you look at other areas of your life and see how they are contributing to that fear. Okay, so what you really want to do is say, okay, am I spending enough time in nature, or am I always just on the computer? Am I always placing myself in situations and circumstances, surrounding myself with people who aren't serving me, who don't really help me become my greatest version? Well, we got to let all of that go. If you really want to learn how to fear less, you got to let all of that go. Okay, and that's why every single day I'm becoming my greatest version. Okay, because I'm seeing what is contributing to my fear and what is contributing to my health. And then I'm maximizing what is contributing to my health, going into nature, living a free life, doing whatever I want every single day, and waking up with a bunch of grapes in my mouth, right? It's all connected. And what is the 10th thing, baby, that will make you feel less besides your running? Stop feeding your fears. Let love guide you, not fear. Slow motion this side. Let love guide you, not fear. You see, I stopped tuning into fear-based media, propaganda, because it wasn't serving me. Like what I'm doing right now has made me a millionaire. So I'm going to focus on what is working for my life, what has made me richer, healthier, more love in my life. Okay, look younger, right? A lot of people don't know I'm 60. 600 years old, right? Look, I've realized this, that you got to stop feeding fear. You got to realize that, yes, you see, a lot of people say, Ralph, why does bad news sell? And I say, because people are idle. You see, if you are really manifesting, if you are really going places, you don't have time to focus on bad news or mindless entertainment, which is not benefiting your life, right? I don't focus on that stuff because I'm doing what has changed my life. I got real results, right? And it's only going to grow more. So you got to focus on the most empowering side, as opposed to something which takes away your power. Many of us, we are in fear because we are externalizing our power. It's time to take it back. It's time to realize the greatest power is you. Now, I inspire millions of people. Not through fear, though. Let me say that again. I inspire millions of people, not through fear, though. I inspire millions of people, not through fear, though. Let's get that very clear. Okay? So I'm putting out great vibes. And what am I receiving back? Great vibes. You see? That's the secret. Now, if I was to talk about a lot of fear-based subjects, yeah, it will have a lot of attention. But the energy I would be receiving back would be very toxic. Therefore, I would not be able to continue. The reason why this channel has over 1 million subscribers and the website is because I'm putting out energy which is going to serve you and help you become your greatest version. We've been doing this a long time. We know what we're doing. The cat down the road and I. Now, stop feeding into fear, because you're going to have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, what has my life become? What have I got to show for my life by just tuning into gossip, mindless entertainment? What have I manifested? But if you focus on the love frequency, which is always higher than fear, fear is here, love frequency here. That's why it's harder to get to. If you are tuning into the love frequency, you will find that you will be healthier, wealthier, better relationship, okay, calmer, more meditative. And that is all from learning how to stop feeding into fear. A lot of the times we're around people who they make us fearful. No. Only you can make yourself fearful by allowing yourself to tune into that fear-based frequency. It's time to change all of that, and it's time to let love guide you and not fear. And then you'll just say, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello? We are out here, deep divers off the world, just woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Super hot day, beautiful weather. Life is great because we are becoming our greatest versions. Have a beautiful day. We're just woo, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Becoming fearless. Have a beautiful day. Infinite waters. Diving deep once again. Stay well. Stay healthy. Peace. You! Fear, where did you go? Ain't nobody got time for fear right now. It's too beautiful in nature, baby.